So Arsenal 5, Sunderland 1. And it was a 5-star performance tonight. Eddie, call me if you need a hat trick. Nicola Pepe was on smoke tonight. And a great debut goal for young Charlie Patino, 18. What were you doing at 18 years old, Kenny?
I was doing doing A levels at Setting of Wishes in Archway. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
But
what did you make of that, man? Like first half, like it was a little bit. They scored a very good goal, by the way. Poor defending. And at half time, it was like,
it was end to end. I think what's happened is that you could tell the way they played, the way they passed the ball, it was slow. There was no like change of pace. It was a bit slow. They do try to play. You could tell that they try to play football in their respective league. But you know, the good thing for the spectacle is that they actually came and had a go. There was none of this. Oh yeah, I just want to admire the furniture around the Emirates. They said let's go and try and play football. But unfortunately for them, there wasn't much pace from their midfield. Not too much pace from their forwards, although they were strong runners. And some players did catch the eye. But it was meat and drink for us. And I thought we scored the goals at the right time. I just want to congratulate Eddie Nketiah for getting his hat-trick. Because at the end of the day, you've got to beat what's in front of you. Yeah. Pepe's second half was imperious. Again, space. He thrives in space. Grant Xhaka was good when he came on. He kind of settled in midfield and gave it a bit of balance because, as you said, first half, I thought Sunderland were getting a bit of joy and getting a little bit of encouragement. We need to slam the door shut. But if we first and foremost, you talk about the whole Eddie's goals, it's just like a typical centre forward. It's just a shame that, that against better sides, he's probably too lightweight and he's probably not what we're looking for. But against teams like that, Leeds last in the last round and Wimbledon as well previous to that, Eddie will always do well in those sort of games because if we're direct, we put service into him, he knows his way to go, especially when defenders are probably as not Premiership class as Wimbledon were and Sunderland were today. So, Juice to Eddie. Pepe as well, I thought, first 20 minutes, struggled to get in the game. But when he got his goal, the second goal, after that, imperious. And the way he just, old-fashioned wing play, again, it was a good opportunity for him to say, you know what, I can play. I know some fans are going to say, are you going to get much from playing Sunderland? You know what, if it improves, sometimes, right, it's not about the opposition, it's just confidence. You come off, you score a hat-trick. Doesn't matter whether it's against Man United, or Sunderland. You score a hat-trick, you feel good, and you can't wait for the next game. So that's the positive today. The biggest negative as well, poor old Balogun, mate. Poor boy. Seriously, mate. You don't, he's, play him on the left wing and expecting him to, contribute to the team is a bad move, mate. You might as well just put him in a bench and play Martinelli there because that's not his position. Don't turn the guy into what he's not. Yeah. Because what you do, first and foremost, you destroy his confidence. And then what will happen is that he sees his mate, who he believes he's better than, in the middle, taking all his chances. He will start making the wrong decisions when he's possession rather than, let the game flow. And I think that's what he tried to do. He had a couple of chances, the header that he missed, he had the shot, and he had a shot in the second half. But it was one of those things where it was just the midfield was just too imbalanced, and Mohamed El Neni needed a bit of a hand in the middle. So I didn't disagree with the fact he was taken up. I disagreed on where he was going to play. But this is Eddie's competition, so I understand why Eddie got the nod above him, and also Eddie's kind of in front of him because of he's getting on the league. But so Arteta needs to, say Balogun, all right, mate, your chance will come, or just send them out on loan because you can't play someone out of position like that. You're setting them up to fail.
Especially when he's been smashing it in the under-23s this season. And
especially
in the middle.
And especially when you've asked him to sort of stay in the club because, the day, you play him against Brentford and, he comes in at Chelsea and then he's nowhere near the team and then people... I come to conclusions that he needs to go out alone. If he had like a run in the side, who knows? But I suppose the fact that we got pumped in our first 3 games meant that he was just going to be one of those casualties like Martinelli and Leno. But it's a shame.
Yeah, it was. It was a shame. And like, listen, there were some great performances tonight. I know Eddie
Pepe,
scored a
your
hat-trick
boy
at the
Pepe,
end of the match.
excellent performances. You know, again, it's a confidence breeder for Pepe, especially when he was just had their right back on toast, and the way he was
Mate, he
just
knocked him twice in 4 minutes.
yeah. But it was not so much that; it's that it was the end product as well, and I think that's why, you know, if any player ratings, not just by ourselves, but player ratings on other channels or even player ratings and amongst journalists in the press box at Highbury, he'll be getting high marks because of the end product, and I think that's what we need from Nicola is end product. Obviously, we like his goals, but end product because you know, at the moment, Saka's in front of him. But one of the biggest criticisms we do have of Saka at times is the goal output and end product. And I think if Pepe can have the end product in terms of creating a chance, a goal scoring chance, and scoring goals, there has to be some sort of competition for places. Because I'm not going to. It's not for me, you know, nailed on that Saka should always play the games that he's better than Pepe. But you know, at the moment, him and Smith Rowe are seen as Mikel's match winners, which is a shame for Pepe because, you know, for me, I think Pepe's more naturally gifted. But maybe, just maybe, tactically, you know, Smith Rowe and
I noticed tonight as
Saka
well
are in
that
tune.
Cedric was overlapping, whereas when we play Premier League games, Tomiyasu doesn't overlap Saka; he comes inverted, right? And listen, I know the level of opposition tonight isn't Premier League standard, right? You can only beat what's in front of you, and we've seen, and you've seen more banana skins over the years than I have in cup competitions, right? Wrexham and all of that, yeah. But every time the ball went to Pepe tonight, Cedric was on his bike, overlap, which gave Pepe the freedom and the space to be able to move around. Whereas when we're in the league, Saka comes inside, but he ain't got the overlap.
Yeah, because we play kind of differently in the league because obviously because we play against better teams, where maybe about 50% of the teams we play against have top strikers, like Premiership standard left backs. Obviously they're Premiership because they're Premier standard, but international class players. They ain't gonna. We play cautiously, so it's not Tomiyasu isn't going to always overlap because if he overlaps and we lose the ball, better teams will hit us on the counter attack and they have a lot of space and that will drag Ben White into areas where we don't want him, and obviously it means Gabriel gets dragged into these areas, and then you've got Xhaka who's not very mobile trying to chase back an attack where basically he's going to get fried physically. So against Sunderland, who came and had a go, there was loads of opportunities for players to impress. Tavares as well. If you look at Tavares, he had an assist today. Again, so again, he was no impress. Cedric, space. I always say this to you a lot of times. Players thrive on space. Once, every player looks $1 million when they're given the space of the Emirates to play. And Sunderland were aiders and abettors. But most important thing is that we are in the next round.
Couple of questions before we wrap up. Number one, Charlie Patino.
I didn't mention him. You forgot about him, didn't I?
A lot of journalists have been hyping this kid up. Yeah,
leave him alone. Journalists, be quiet. Leave him alone. Let him develop.
I must say,
his football.
He came on. When he came on, I was like, "Oh, he's built like me. He's tall and skinny. He's to go gym."
He actually has a bit. He's sort of lower build, the legs. He reminds me of he runs a bit like Jack Wilshere, to be honest, when he first came
he actually does. But do you know what was mad? Pepe, the vision from Pepe to see the run, because Pepe, a lot of times the criticisms of Pepe are he's greedy, he don't pass it. He could have easily took that ball down and had a shot. Instead, he see the boy out the corner of his eye and he passed him in.
Well,
and,
Eddie
at the Emirates when you're 18 on your debut, man. I mean, that must be a mad feeling, isn't it?
Well, you know what's happened. He actually managed to get in front of Eddie to get that chance, because I know Eddie was eagerly waiting for the 4 goals. So I think what's happened, the guy got in there. The guy was the better man, and Eddie recognised. Thought, you know what, I've got me hat-trick, and I got his goal. But you know what, it's good for your confidence to score in your debut. And, it's a good opportunity to come in. But I think what's happened, use the lad sparingly. I know people saying the future is bright. Let's calm down a bit. Let's just let these players evolve and let them
Yeah.
play at their level, which is the under 23s, and then see if they can work their way into the team. You said you had
100%.
another question.
Well, I've got two more rapid
Mm.
fires, right? Can we win this competition? We're in the semi-final. It's a home and away leg. We obviously haven't got our opposition yet. The other 3 games are tomorrow. There's some big teams left in it. And number 2, has anyone from tonight's game staked a claim for the Boxing Day fixture away to Norwich?
Right, first and foremost, you know, once you get to semi-finals, you've got a good chance of winning it. You know, if you look at the ties, you know, Spurs versus West Ham, I think judging for what I saw West Ham last week, I expect Spurs to win comfortably because I thought Spurs, you know, had a plan against Liverpool. Liverpool against Leicester, you know, Leicester. I mean, both of them haven't got any excuses not to play a top team. Although Liverpool got COVID situations, but I expect Liverpool to just edge it. And then you've got Brentford versus Chelsea. Brentford have cleared up all their COVID cases. Chelsea still have COVID cases, but you would have thought Chelsea are a bit amongst them. So potential semi-finalists will be, in my opinion, you know, Tottenham, Liverpool, and Chelsea. So again, when you get to the business end of the Carabao Cup, I think they will feel strong teams. So you know, it's anything can happen. I'm sure everyone is saying, hopefully, let's not get Spurs. Let's save it for the final. I reckon we'll get Spurs.
I don't want to get Spurs in the final, mate, because if we lose to them in the final, then we're never going to be at the end of it.
Yeah, but I think it's highly likely the semi-final draw will be Arsenal, Tottenham, and Chelsea, Liverpool. So again, it depends what it's. I think that all Chelsea and Liverpool are strong enough. Spurs, if Harry Kane and Song turn up, that'll be interesting. You know, I think they'll be strong at their the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but at the Emirates depends because you know last time beat the Emirates is in the cup competition. But in terms of like, what was your last question? In terms of anyone staking their place to get into the side, I would say no, not really, because I think what's happened is that if you go by the league performances in the last 3 games, it's kind of set in stone. It really is set in stone in terms of like Martinelli stating his claim, Lacazette holding the ball up, and you know the other teams
again tonight as well.
Odegaard. We'll speak quietly, but Odegaard's had a good December for me. He's had a very, in fact, it's superb December in terms of how he's played. So he's going to play. Smith Rowe, you know, in terms, I think he's probably edging towards getting in the first 11, but there's other players like Saka and Martinelli keeping him out, and Lacazette's full. So for me, the only person who probably would stay, well, none of them really, because I don't think Smith Rowe had an influential game anyway. So from that thing, no one. It's a shame because Pepe, Odegaard gets a hat trick, and Pepe was imperious. So, sorry,
exactly.
Nketiah gets a hat trick. And Pepe was imperious, but also no, I think the team that played against Leeds will play against Norwich.
There you go. On that bombshell, we're going to do player ratings a little bit later on if you're about, mate.
I'm about. What time are you thinking? 5 o'clock in the morning?
Well, one thing's for sure, I won't be smashed this time, and you and Jez won't have to take the lead, mate.
well, like I said, drink water. It's good for you. Or tonic water. Not tonic water.
It'll be maybe hour and 30 from now, hour and 40 maybe. So
what time is it now?
quarter to midnight. It's quarter to 11 your time. So
that's all right. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'll keep you posted anyway. But listen, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
No problems. Look after yourself.
I'll take her out.